Hello, here we have three German officers um, made by three different companies. The first one here was made by Britons as part of the Britons Detail toys back in 1970s, early 1970s, 1971 perhaps. I think they were originally on a brown stand, and by 1974 they had changed to a green stand. But I've always been fascinated by 1 to 32 or 54 millimeter toy soldiers. The ones I mainly collect are Airfix, but I have been known to splash out and buy Britons and Matchbox also. So these are the three German officers that I just picked from my collection today. This guy was made by Britons Toys, as I said, part of the Britons Detail range. If memory serves me right, these were a lot more expensive back in the 70s to purchase than the Airfix. So, here's a little visitor now. But they were really good, and I mean they could intermingle with them, both the Britons, Matchbox, and Airfix. The German officer here has his map. He's pointing in the direction, maybe directing artillery fire or mortar fire. He has his binoculars there. Yeah, he has his gas mask and case and a map case. So quite good detail on them. Water bottle, and no doubt he has a pistol as well. Perhaps it's the Walter. Maybe, who knows? Maybe the Walter P38, produced by a German company and was widespread use in the German army during World War II. Maybe in a holster here, because it was basically cheaper to produce than the Luger, the famous Luger. But yeah, black boots, uniform, looks a very professional officer. His webbing is quite basic here at the back, but the detail was good. One thing I remember back in the 70s is that these spruces underneath here would come loose a lot and probably spoil our game. Let's see. But yeah, they were a good figure. They really were a good figure. Like I said, as memory serves me right, I think they were a bit more expensive than the Airfix brand at the time. So this is the Airfix officer, produced by Airfix, of course, a German officer as part of the German infantry range. They originally came out, I think, around 1969 in a brown box, and then went on to different types of boxes, culminating in the target box, which I suppose any guy growing up in the 70s would instantly recognise the target box. I think he definitely has a Walter P38 there. The muzzle of which is slightly bent, so at least he'd be able to shoot around corners, but still showing his age, I suppose. He has binoculars, he has his holster here, his water canteen, or maybe perhaps a drop of schnapps, gas mask holder, and map case. Very stoic looking officer, very professional, leading from the front, I'd say. Giving inspiration to his men that are coming up. So all the original guys that I had in the 70s are long since gone. So I've started to, in recent years, I've started to collect them again. So, but it was, Airfix had a very wide range of officers. They also produced an officer in the Africa Corps infantry box as well, which I have as well. But I just wanted to take out these three just by way of example. But yeah, really good designed officer. The moulding is excellent. I mean, you see even the creases on his trousers there. Really, really good. I believe it was done by the fine artist Ronald Cameron. I believe produced these for Airfix. So yeah, really, really good. And of course, can be painted, but I was never really into painting them. I'd like to just keep them originally and the way they look, you know. So here we have then the German officer produced by Matchbox. I think the muzzle of his gun is missing. He almost struck me as a guy that was maybe arresting someone because the pistol is down low and not raised up to take a good shot or anything. But so he's holding onto his holster here. He has his binoculars. Again, good, very good detail. See the, I wonder is that a iron cross around his throat. You've got the water canteen again and gas mask and map holder and the straps around his body there. Excellent detail as well in the Matchbox. I believe they produced these in late 1970s into the mid 1980s. As well as, of course, the famous toy cars. They also done the uh, 1 to 72 scale, I believe, as well, Matchbox. But as a kid, I used to always prefer the 1 to 32 scale. Of course, back in the 70s, were influenced by such great movies as The Eagle Has Landed, Where Eagles Dare, and there was something stylish, I think, about the German officer uniform. Um, so I believe you had makers like Hugo Boss at the time during World War II designing these uniforms and boots and the like. So, but yeah, the Airfix have always been my favourite. So if you want to leave some comments just talking about who your favourite toy soldier was, whether it's Airfix, Britain's, Matchbox, maybe in the US you like the Louis Marks, um, whatever. I will be doing a video on a more newer company that has produced some really fine soldiers. They're BMC toys in the US, and I think that looking at them recently, the detail on these is excellent as well. But just a little bit of nostalgia here with the three German officers resting on a Victor Annual from 1981. So Donner und Blitzen and Gott in Himmel and all these sayings. I think a lot of us learn German from reading the Victor and Commando and all of that. So there you go, three German officers, Britain's, Airfix, my favourite, and Matchbox. Okay, so talk to you again soon, and I'll post another video. If you want to leave anything in the comments regarding these soldiers and toy soldiers, or memories of playing with them, or memories of the movies you used to watch and then act parts of the movies out with your toy soldiers back in the 70s and 80s, or whether you read Victor and Warlord, Commando and all of these. Nice bit of nostalgia. Anyway, three German officers. Thanks for watching. See you soon.